everybody, welcome back to our channel, We're the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And here is our non-spoiler review for How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. In this third installment of How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup discovers that Toothless is not the only Night Fury. You and I have both loved both How to Train Your Dragon movies so far, so we were very much looking forward to this third one. And the one main thing that we noticed in the trailer is that there is another Night Fury.
There's a girlfriend involved.
Yeah. And it was cute to see in the teasers, like, how, like, smitten Toothless got with this new thing.
And how awkward he was.
Yeah, and how, in my opinion, like, I was like, oh, how is this going to change the whole dynamic between Toothless and Hiccup, who were basically BFFs up until this point. So you just wonder, you know, like, oops, sorry, dog. I just dropped my phone almost on my dog. You just wonder, you know, like, yeah, the relationship between human and dragon is great, but what happens when a dragon meets another dragon that's just like him?
Yeah, it has like a girlfriend, and I just thought that that was going to be something that we were really going to be looking forward to, is seeing this dynamic, how it was going to change and how it was going to grow, and whether or not it was going to break them apart.
Yeah.
So I was really excited going into this film because I loved all the other ones, and the best part about all of the How to Train Your Dragons is the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless.
It's so cute. Like, I've never wanted a dragon more. And I look at my dogs and I was like, can I just put little wings on you guys?
Which I think you already have.
I know, I have costumes for my dogs. But what I really have enjoyed with the entire saga, and this doesn't even count like the TV show, which I've watched only very little of, but all three movies have had a very solid story. It doesn't really try to, I mean, it's contained in its own bubble, but it doesn't try to repeat itself in every story, because in the first one, it's, you know, they fear the dragon, and then Hiccup meets Toothless and kind of changes his whole village and his dad's mind about their outlook on dragons. And the second one to introduce, which is like my favorite introduction of any character, was Hiccup's mom, voiced by Cate Blanchette. I mean, she was just so, like, remember how she came up in the clouds, and you're like, how is she floating? She's got the mask on, she's like standing on her dragon, she's got the staff that she does this with. It's awesome, and she is back in the third film. All the characters have grown up. Yeah,
and that's something that I loved about this entire trilogy, is that they don't just like keep the characters at the same age, they age them, they show them progress and grow, and I loved that. I remember in the second one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome!
Yeah.
How they're changing Hiccup's appearance, and they did the same thing in this one.
Yeah, they really did. They make him look a little bit older. He's got more like adult issues, and you can kind of still see like what we loved about the first one carried over to the third one, and that is the camaraderie between his friends, how they kind of some of the characters reminded me of my friends when I was like, yep, some of my friends are definitely like that. Like, Kristen Wiig's character is hilarious, and she's just like someone I really enjoyed throughout the movie. But best of all are the dragons and the visuals and the animation. It just looks, it's always looked very realistic. The second one really knocked it out of the park when he was flying with Toothless like over the ocean. I was just like, oh my gosh. And anytime they have any of those like flying shots I'm just like, yes, I would like to sign up. Where can I sign up for a dragon and a flying lesson? Because it just always looks so good.
Yeah, and that's something that just carries through every single one. It's just that it's visually stunning and beautiful. And we didn't get to see it in 3D, but I would be like, you know what, this would be something that I think I would want to see in 3D. Yeah. That I'd be willing to pay the extra money to see it in Real D 3D or whatever your theater offers.
Yeah.
And that was always with all of the How to Train Your Dragons. I was always like, you know what? It's worth dropping the extra money to see it in 3D. I think we might go see it again.
Yeah, in 3D or in Prime or both, or like an IMAX or something. Because I remember the second time, for the second movie, we saw it and we didn't really have a choice. It was just only available in 3D for the showtimes that we wanted. So we ended up with it, and it was kind of like a nice surprise because we were sitting in the theater and I was like, well, this actually looks really freaking good in 3D. So we didn't really think about that in the third one. But we will go see this again because we love this movie so much. There is a new character in this third installment, and that is the villain by the name of Grimmel, who, I can't remember the actor who voiced him, but by the looks of it, immediately when I saw him, I thought, oh my gosh, how perfect if it was late Alan Rickman voicing this guy, because
Yeah.
like literally it's exactly who I thought of. Like,
And even his kind of character and personality. Even though I have to admit, I wish they would have gone a little bit more into his character.
yes,
Because
exactly what I was gonna
he was
say.
a little bit of a kind of twist the mustache. I am a bad guy.
Well, no.
That's
okay,
kind
that's
of
how you thought. Sure,
that's kind
sure.
of how he came off to me. Don't get me wrong. He was still kind of like a cool villain, but he was a villain for villain's sake, kind of a thing. There wasn't really much to him. You really didn't quite understand why he was the way he was. And I think it would have been cooler. I mean, the movie's already kind of short. I think it would have been nice to actually have a little bit of development or a little bit of story background with this character, on why he is the way he is,
how he views dragons,
why he views dragons the way he does, and why he is so resilient to know all dragons need to die.
I agree. I would have liked to see this character because I liked him a lot, and I liked that he was more of a mind game. He wasn't kind of like a brawn type of a villain that used his muscles to do what he played a lot of mind games. Reminded me a little bit of Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, because he was always somehow a step or two ahead of our heroes, and I really like that. But I really would have liked to see the story shifted towards just a little bit of his arc, a little bit of backstory, a little bit more development for him, as opposed to getting these, like, so there's an inside joke between a couple of Hiccup's friends and Hiccup's mom, and they kept going back to that. And it's funny, but I just felt that some of those times would have been could have been better allocated to fleshing out the villain a little bit more, because I found him very interesting, but not enough for me to feel it when he kind of came face to face with Hiccup and the dragons in the third act of the movie. But with all that said, we've liked the movie so much. We love this franchise. So Dustin, what is your rating for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World?
I'm going to give it a check it out. This is a really fun movie. I would definitely suggest putting down the extra money to go see it in 3D. And it's just a fun, it continues the saga, and it just wraps everything up in this great movie. And this is going to be one of the great trilogies, I think, of all time. You know, you have like Star Wars, you have Toy Story, and soon
Toy Story's a good trilogy too.
Or, even though now it's going to be a quadrilogy.
Saga.
A saga.
I don't know. Yeah, same for me. I really, with different rating, but same for me. I love this franchise. I would probably say the first one would be my favorite.
I think I'd lean more towards the second one for me.
I think it kind of goes like 1, 2, 3 for me, but not saying like any of them are bad, because they are not. I love the story, and it gives us like a nice full circle, I feel, for the full story. I am going to give this movie a see it opening night, because I think it is worth it. I think for someone who has been invested since the first movie, you want to see where these characters end up. You care about Toothless, and you care about Hiccup, you care about all the other side characters like Astrid. So I really, God, I like this movie so much, and I will not lie, I will definitely say that I shed a tear or two towards the end of this movie. Yeah. Well, you guys, that's it for our non-spoiler review. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let us know in the comment section below if you have a favorite out of the 3 How to Train Your Dragon movies. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you want to see what we're up to day to day, you can follow us on our social media listed right here. It's at Wendy Lee Zaney, at the movie couple _ on Twitter and Instagram. We'll see you next time.